Partnership to me means the aligning of goals. It means that everybody's working towards the same end goal. They might have different ideas of how they get there, but in the end, we all want the same thing.
I mean, it's a very sort of simple thing to say, but the council can't do anything without partners, particularly in this kind of constrained environment councils are operating in. And our plan sets out in kind of some detail, really, our ambitions for working with partners on shared purpose. And I think a lot of that came across today is where you share a vision, you can achieve a lot more together than you can doing it on your own silos.
Well, partnership with, of course, businesses, investors, developers, as well as the authorities. Mostly what the authorities should be doing is to facilitate trust in customers and market choice to make things happen, to value maximize. And so there's still conversion potentials. And I think it's important that residences come in, that you live close to where you want to work and close to the cultural offerings. So it is actually the center has still enormous development potential, which is paralyzed at the moment. So that's the first wave. But once that is kind of filling up and happening, then it kind of percolates outward. It's kind of a concentric process. But if the center is dead, everything is dead.
Where I'd like to see the money flowing is to unlock our edge of city sites, because that is where we already have the existing transport networks. That's where people want to live, and that's where we've just got to figure out how to get the density mix right in order to make them viable places.
Well, I think there's a big focus at the moment on the suburbs and on that kind of polycentric growth concept. So do you think that there is an interest in increasing the amount of capital that flows into places like Newham? Newham is geographically suburban, but well connected to central London, the rest of the southeast. So I can see that being a real interest of capital.
The one regulatory reform I would make is to designate high growth housing areas where the government will set planning passports, take away the blockers, and allow developers of all sizes to go in at almost minimal risk, to minimise the risk so they can deliver housing.
I think for me it would be refining the building safety requirements, making that system work more efficiently and effectively, and give more certainty to developers and investors.
In terms of the conversions, there have been a window of opportunity of freeing that up, of not requiring permissions and not having all the constraints and impositions thrown onto this. And that unfortunately has been phased out. But it was interesting because it revealed what is really needed in terms of smaller units, single living, etc., etc. And that was where the market was signaling something, and that should be brought back and expanded.
I think the innovation is speed. I think that's the problem with planning. That's the problem with development. It takes too long. All of that means more money. So using digital technology, AI, in order to speed up the process.
More could be done with the river and the waterways in London, because I think they've got so much potential from a placemaking perspective to kind of really improve the amenity, but also things around logistics, transport, to make a city more livable.
For architects, we need to we need more freedom. It's not only our clients or developers who need to become urban entrepreneurs and not be kind of hemmed in, not only being prevented, but if they're allowed to do something, it's so prescribed in terms of the unit mix, each room, each size, each amenity, each terrace, each piece of green, window side, everything is prescribed. So there's nothing for the developer to be innovative about. And for the architect, that's totally boring.
I think probably not so much of a hype, but I think probably one that is kind of up for debate is the impact of things like AI, how the industry is going to change in terms of delivering, because we're still going to need people on site delivering houses. Physical work will not end because AI is taking over other jobs. So I think it's just about getting the right balance of that in the sector.
Placemaking. And the reason I say that is because placemaking is what you really mean is good development, and good development is good development. It will look slightly different in different places, but this idea that everybody's talking about placemaking, I think, is overhyped.
Well, I think we can't talk about trends if nothing is happening. So, I mean, or if what might be overhyped is all these small kind of fringe and marginal interventions. We should, they shouldn't fill the space of debate. They can be taken for granted. They don't need us from on high or through a kind of global intellectual discourse to be pushed forward. Well, that revolution is coming.
Well, I think events like today, and you see the commitment to partnership between the public and private sector, you've got people with big brains and big energy trying to achieve good things. So I think there's hope there.
The hope I have for London is that it's London. It is one of the most amazing cities we have in this, in the world. And I think that is the thing that I've always loved about London. The thing that gives me hope about London is London.